Hey, what's up guys? How are you? This is my response video to VG Fight School. Good channel, good dude. You can go check out his channel and support it. I'll probably leave it down, the link down in the description below, as long as I know how to copy and paste it in the description area. And full disclaimer, this video is not a beef video. This is not me attacking him at all in any way, shape, or form. This is just me trying to argue my point in response to his, that a PC could never give you the value of a $300 Xbox Series X console. And obviously I'm not speaking about consoles in general like PlayStation and Nintendo, because they don't, and that's 100% true. But I will try to point my argument and compare and contrast in the video with some bulletin points and show some stuff that will, try to represent and back up why I'm making this statement. And I hope that by the end, VG and whoever is watching, you guys are going to understand where I'm coming from, and you're going to appreciate what I did and see that I'm not incorrect. So sit back, relax, enjoy a digital drink. Thumbs up if you like, thumbs down if you didn't like. Share this video with someone you think might like it. So I'm going to come into a small pause because I have to add some additional things after this introduction, of course. So I'll see you guys real soon. What's up guys? Real quick before I go any further with the video that I started in the car, I want to point out that one of the things I could say about VG is that when he does his videos and content, one of the things I like and appreciate and respect from him is that he's very concise and he likes to use proof and data, which is fantastic, because that's the way it should always be. A lot of people out here do things and don't show own evidence. It's just them talking out their blowhorn, so to speak. And you guys follow me and been following me since the very beginning. You guys all know that I'm the same way. I like to show my proof, and I like to show as much as possible to prove or back up whatever statement or topic I'm trying to bring upon in whatever video I do, right? So in this case, I'm in my home, right? As you can see, I'm gonna walk over and I'll show you guys real quick over here behind me. This is my video setup right here, as you can see there. That's my 65-inch TV, my Series X, my Xbox, my PlayStation 5, my Switch, right? And that's just one of the Xbox in the home. And you can see this is my living room. So I like to, the reason why I'm doing this for VG is because I said in the video that I do have access, because I'm a computer tech by trade for many years, right? And I have access to a PC that's high end that I can play games on if I need to, or if I show wish to do so. But this is the argument is, what I'm trying to say is that a 360, or not a 360, an Xbox Series X at the $300 price point gives you a much bigger value and proposition and quality than any PC can, because the price points are always higher. No matter how much you try, whether you're building it with used parts, new parts, custom parts, or pre-built already. Even worse, because pre-built, they're usually more expensive. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pan out real quick. I came into my son's room because my son loves to play on PC, for example, right? Or likes to play on PC. I'm not even going to use the term love. And he has his setup. And if you follow my channel, you see that I've even played some games on PC as of recent, more so than ever. And he has his setup here. I'll show you here, as you can see. And he's playing Undisputed. He has his mic set up. He has his keyboard, as you can see. So, and that is his graphic card there. The GeForce that he has, right? The RTX. And all of his setup with his actual shell and his LED, I believe is a 32-inch monitor, which the real asking price for this monitor as a starting point, if you buy a brand new, not refurbished, which he got actually for a refurbished price for like $900 and something, is really about $1,300 or $1,200. And what I was trying to say before, and one of the points that I was trying to say before that I said to VG in my response to him, that he, because he kind of went over some stuff and said blah blah blah, didn't really explain some things, and that's not how it works. You can't just say blah 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 and not show all the details, right, Mr. VG? With all due respect. So one of the things that I said clearly that, I lost my train of thought, but give me a second. But I was saying that that you can play it, right? But that I can play on an an OLED screen, right? Like the one my son has, that's 32-inch. But my screen is 65-inch. And it supports VRR, HDR, right? Dolby Vision and Dolby Vision Surround. And it was only $1,500. And when you look at the quality of the picture, when I play the Series X on it, right? And even if I play his PC on it, the picture quality is much, much greater. So, if right there by default, if you're going to try to play on a higher quality as far as getting a better picture with all the bells and whistles and technology on a PC with a monitor, it doesn't match because you can play on a TV, which you could also use the PC, right? That's irrelevant. The point is, because a lot of people that play on PC, they also like to use, or mainly like to use monitors and not TVs, right? Even though most LED panels and TVs work as monitors as well, right? Which a lot of people may not know that, right? So anyway, I'm going to stop the video here, and then I'll continue once I get everything set up with my other points and starting talking points of what I was trying to say to him when he pointed out the first reason why he's saying that a computer and a console value is not in the same sentence, according to what he says. So, stick around, guys. I'll see you in a few seconds. Well, guys, I'm back. And as you guys saw, one of the first things that I pointed out in the previous cut of this video is that one of the benefits that you get from a console that only you pay out of pocket $300 in the Series X is the ability to be able to get the benefits from the display that you use it on, which would be either a monitor or a TV. And you guys are going to say, like VG might say, oh yeah, but you could do it on PC. Absolutely right, yes. But again, this is about the value of what you're paying versus what you pay on a PC. Because if you're going to get a PC that the GPU, the CPU, the actual video card that you buy, and the central, the central processing unit, which is obviously the CPU, if you buy the ones that are compatible with, let's say, DirectX 12 Ultimate, with VRR, variable refresh rates, and with Dolby Atmos Surround and Dolby Vision Surround, it's going to be at a much, much higher price point. That is my whole argument. At a much, much higher price point. And this cannot be argued. No PC guy, not VG, not anyone, not Rich Review Tech, anyone, even Angry Joe that loves to be loud and obnoxious, can argue that a PC, right, in order for you to get all those technology for your gaming experience on the PC, it's not going to cost you more money, because it is. This is not even talking about having the ability to change your frame rates or having 4K resolution native all the time, or ray tracing, accelerated ray tracing, or any of that stuff like global illumination. None of that stuff. I'm just talking about just built in the hardware, because in these consoles, like I said, that is the argument. In this console here, right, in this Xbox, right, this is my son's, this Xbox, it's built in the hardware, right? It's in the hardware, built in for $300. Because like I told you, since COVID, and during COVID, when the consoles came out, I traded in my Xbox One X, and they gave me $212 or $20, and I only paid the $300 for the console. Since launch, and they've been out for 5 years. Okay, so since launch, they've been out for 5 years, and I've only paid $300. So did my son, and my other son, and my other son. And for my daughter, I was able to get her an S, and that only came out to 100 and I think it was 80 if you had to trade it. Put it like this: just recently, for the Nintendo Switch 2, GameStop, right? They offered a $420 trade up for the Xbox Series X to put it towards a Switch 2, and you would only pay a $35 difference, or a $55 with the tax, or whatever the case may be, $65, whatever it is, for that said hardware. And again, that was one of the things that he brought up, which I'll touch in a bit. So one of the first things that VG, sir, you mentioned was that the value is not there because when you play your Division, right, on your PC, right, that you played it without having to pay for the online. It was free. Okay, that's great. But the difference is that you're not giving the details, and you're not understanding the details, maybe, or maybe you don't know the details since you play more on PC and not on consoles, even though you originally said you played on consoles. So that the difference is, when we pay for that internet service, we're getting things that you don't get on PC. Number one, you're not getting security with your actual account and your games. That security that you get with the account and games is protected by second step authentication. You don't have any of that protection for your games that you buy unless you're buying them on Steam, and even Steam doesn't offer that protection where they can't get into your account, hack into it, and steal your games, or ruin your account, or corrupt your account. On consoles, specifically on the Xbox console, you don't have to worry about that. With that payment that we do, it also includes the ability of playing Game Pass and online. Plus, we can play on the go on any of the libraries we have with any of the games, as long as they're in the cloud service via the cloud gaming on the go. It's also included. With that price, you got to also understand, we get customer service for this hardware. If anything happens to the console, that hardware, we don't have to worry about it. You buy a graphic card, unless you have maybe an extended warranty that you paid for, or the amount of warranty they may give you with the card itself, that's all you're limited to. Only that set piece. With a console is the entire console. Anything that happens, they take care of it. You don't really have to pay out of pocket anything, especially when it comes to Xbox. We're not talking about PlayStation and Nintendo, that they really don't give you any of those services. We don't pay for cloud saving. Most people on other consoles do. And I don't know if it's cloud saving is free on PC at this point, or you can get it for free at some point, or some way, or through another venue. That I don't know, but we get it free. But again, included in that $300 price point. The key word that you got to keep remembering with things I say is $300. Not $800 for the Walmart PC that Dark Doc was trying to talk about, and you were promoting with him, saying that he's right, and him saying with the new PC, even the PC they gifted him, that was a well in the $1,200 range or $2,000 range, which again proves he can't get high quality gaming like you do on a $300 Xbox Series X, like playing Indiana Jones, for example, with 4K native resolution or dynamic, 120 frames per second in depending what mode you pick, or 60 frames, or HDR Dolby Vision, or Dolby Atmos surround with ray tracing even involved, even if it's not as aggressive or as high ultra ray tracing or aggressive as accelerated ray tracing on a PC. You're getting those type and that high quality of gaming on a $300 console. I'll say it again, and I'll continue to say it throughout the whole video. Your PC and Destiny did not offer you dedicated servers. And what I'll do is I'll take a quick stop here, and I'll show you that on Xbox since the series Xbox One X, you got free dedicated servers for all games. Developers were able to use that at all times. And on your PC, it's not the way that it works. You can get something like public servers, but they still don't work as good as dedicated servers. So that's something that Microsoft has to maintain out of their pocket, so that all the people, the millions and millions of people that got the Xbox Series console and the Series S console, can actually enjoy for the gaming, and they pay for it. Dedicated servers need stations and towers, and they're not free to maintain. On a PC, it depends. It's on a game-by-game basis, and you have to pay for it in many cases individually, separate for a certain amount of time, or for maybe a one-time fee, or whatever the case may be. It depends on the game. And then if you do get access to it for free, it probably is after they shut down the game and it's no longer available, or you could just play it in that way or in that sense, as you know, right? So another thing you got to point out, you understand, is that Microsoft charges people because they are a company that does the hardware. They have the developers that they use to make those AAA, AA, and single A games, spending millions of dollars for each of the games, putting them on Game Pass at no extra charge day and day, giving us all the new technology that's built in the hardware at no extra cost, at the cost that they sell you the hardware. They're the ones that provide everything, from cloud gaming, cloud on the go, cloud saving, whatever the case may be, with other patents they got, like Havoc and all that stuff that's included within console gaming space, right? On PC, AMD doesn't make games. They don't have developers in another wing. They don't sell you games. Neither does NVIDIA. They only make PC components like, let's say, a video card. And I don't even know if they make other stuff like memory. I don't know if they make other stuff like the cooling system. I don't know for sure. They might. But if in most cases it's all different companies, it's an open platform that sell you all these pieces for these games, for the components for a PC, or for your PC build. So all those components are built by different companies. In the case of the console, when you have that console, it's built by the same company, Microsoft, under the Xbox division. So they have a reason why they upcharge or charge gamers for, online. That makes perfect sense because they have a bigger expenditure. And this is not just one or two people, it's millions. Because the Xbox Series console right now is probably about at 40 or 45 million units out there that people have, right? So that's a lot of people that they have to spend to make sure that they have all these servers around the world working, and that they have to pay for. AMD doesn't have to worry about that. NVIDIA doesn't have to worry about that. They don't pay developers. They don't pay for any of those cloud services and any of that stuff. They don't pay spend millions of dollars to give you games through a service or a subscription service. Everything is Steam. That's how you get your games in most cases. Now you get it also through Xbox Game Pass for $12. Obviously, you got to stay competitive too. They're not going to charge you an upcharge as they would with somebody else like consoles in the console space as well, because they're competing also with Steam, right? So they can't just say, "Oh, this is what we're giving you and offering you," and not make it the proposition, right? The proposition more elegant for gamers on PC to want to gravitate and get Xbox Game Pass or PC Game Pass, right? So that is the caveat. Those are the differences, right? And I know that your mindset is more to think about like a PC gamer, and that's fine. But I also think because you said in your video that you said that you think that I was implying that PC can't do none of that and more versus a console. And that's not what I said at all. What I said to you is, and what I said in the comments, because you skipped through it and you kind of, put it in your own words, not in the actual writing of everything that I said, with certain things you did, but not all of it, is that the value of a console, like an Xbox Series X, at a $300 price point, no PC from Walmart, or that you buy pre-built, right? Or even if you buying pieces little by little on your own for a better price, is going to be, right? At that value, right? At that value that you get with a console. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a quick pause and I'm gonna give you a small example, like right now. So as you can see there, the DVD disc drive that you could play DVD media, right? Media. For example, like I said, this drive right here, right? This is included with this machine for $300. If you guys buy a 4K DVD disc drive, external or even internal, to put it in your console or your PC or your PC build, I went and looked and you saw at all the cheapest ones, and the cheapest one was $70 just for that drive. Kind of like the same price Sony was charging for the separate disc drive for PS5 Pro, which is about $80. But with the console, it comes with it. It's included. This was included from day one, even on the Xbox One. Microsoft did it first. 4K media. So I can take any of my 4K movies, like let's say a movie like this, which is the best way to watch anything because this is bit for bit. There's no sacrifice in quality of image, sound, or actual resolutions. Bit for bit, like Brotherhood of the Wolves in 4K, and I can watch it. And this medium stays with me, right? And I can watch it for right on the console that cost, again, only $300. Because it's not like I paid the actual $500. So again, that's another argument that I was trying to tell you. Sorry about that. That you have perks and features that are extras for the console. Right? It's the same way like people would say, oh, you can do so much stuff with the PC. Yes, absolutely. A PC does way more. I never said that. But it comes at a higher cost. And also with the nuisance. On a PC, you have to do everything manually by yourself. And for somebody like you or me that are PC savvy, it's easy. But for a regular person in the street, it is not easy. They don't know PC. A regular mom and dad or grandma or grandfather or a single mom or parents that work and want to get their kids a video game console so they can play, they're not going to go into a Best Buy, a Target, a Walmart, a GameStop, go to Amazon, whatever the case may be, and say, listen, I want you guys to tell me what is the most powerful and most high-tech PC for my kids to play. One, because it's expensive and they're not going to spend that kind of money so that they could break it in maybe a month or a couple or a year or maybe even a few days. They're not going to do that. A console is secure. They're not going to open it. It's all intact. They're going to ask for a console because it's just you plug it in. It updates everything and does everything for you by itself, and you play. You can't tell me that's not the facts. A PC, I'll give you a perfect example. My son was playing the other day at 12 o'clock at midnight with his two brothers and siblings, right? For Borderlands 3. He was on the Series X. They were both on their own personal PC, and they both have high rigs, right? Or high quality rigs. Their servers kept acting up, and they kept on crashing, while my son on the Xbox had no issues. Because a console just simply works. If it needs an update, if it needs drivers, it does everything for you. You just press yes when it tells you it needs something, and it does it, and you're good to go. Sometimes it can do it while you're sleeping. You put it on standby, and it does all the stuff while you're asleep, which you can't do on a PC either. I mentioned to you something like Quick Resume, which is basically digital cloud saving without you needing a memory card. You can jump from game to game, another fantastic feature. Or you could jump into a video or go watch a program and come back to it if you have to leave, and you don't lose anything. It starts you right off where you left off. That's only available on the Series X. A great perk that you don't have on PC for $300, right? You showed that you Oh, they didn't know Dead to Rights. Look, I have the original Dead to Rights here on the OG Xbox. That supposedly, as you pointed out, was back and back. The difference with PC, I have a physical copy of this. The game is in this disc. I don't need the internet to play it. The only reason I would need an internet is so that it can give me the free enhancements to make it run 4K or in 64K. But I can still play the game. The game is mine. No one on PC owns anything. Ever. Ever. I own my games. Same way I can go and play Space Marines, for example. If it's back compat, right? It's on the disc. Even something like Split Fiction, it's on the disc. You don't need the internet. It's all on the disc. Why? Because for the Xbox Series X, if it's more than one disc, that means the whole game is on the disc because they use 50 gig disc. They don't use 100 gigs. If it's on the PlayStation 5, it's one disc, as long as the game stays within the 100 gig medium or parameter. If it's something like Baldur's Gate, you have 3 and 4 discs because it needs more discs, but it's still on the disc. I do not need to play the game via online, or I don't need the online to play it. Just put the game in the disc and the console and it works. Can't do that with PC. You just can't. You don't own any of your libraries. I own every game I have, and I have at least 3,000 games physically. And as I told you before, if you never noticed, you see that I've done videos on my DS, on my Wii, on my Switch, on my Wii U, on my PS2, PS3, PC, Xbox 360, Dreamcast, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, OG Xbox. I've done videos on every platform. Everyone. Every single one. That's why I said with the Xbox console in particular, I have 4 generations now with the Series X, and moving forward is the same thing, that I bring my games with me and they just work. That's why I said the disk drive's not going nowhere, because they offered this freedom, and after they made the proposition, they can't just take it away because people enjoy back compat, especially if you already own the game. That's why disc is not going anywhere. Maybe they'll start selling it separate, yes, because not as many people play on disc. That I'll give you that. But it's not going nowhere because you need the physical medium. There's no other alternative at this point that you can save and actually preserve games. And in my case, because the people, you want to say, oh, but what are you going to do? If you die, it stays here. Yeah. The point is as long as I'm alive, I don't have to worry about it. I own it. Who cares about what happens when I die? In my case, I won't have to worry about it because I have kids. They all like physical, and they're going to take it and they can give it to their kids, and then they can give it to their kids. Or my wife can take all my stuff because she knows the value of my stuff, sell it, and get money to put towards something she may need or something she may want while she's still alive. So it's a win-win, right? These are investments. When you're buying something digital through Steam, it's not an investment. If your account gets corrupted or they take a license away, they decide to pull the game out, you have no access to it. Same thing goes with movies. You don't own it. So for the fact that I can do that on the Xbox Series X and even the S digitally, right? Even though that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about physical medium. For $300, it outweighs anything the PC can give me for $1,000, $2,000, $800, $9,000, whatever the case may be of the price of that PC. So again, you cannot do that on a PC. They don't even make PC physical medium anymore, as far as I know. And if they do, it's certain selected games, maybe bigger ones, not none of the little ones. Which I come to another point where you said about the whole, when I pointed out that a lot of the games on PC are shovelware. Now, I didn't mean to say because they were smaller independent games that they were garbage. What I mean by shovelware is they're not AAA and AA games. Most of the games that are exclusive to PC are smaller stuff that are self-published and not published by big publishers. They're not AAA quality. And the stuff that you do have AAA quality is already available also on console. So console gamers can access it. With the exception of things like maybe, Star Citizen, which still hasn't been finished, even though they've charged their fan base a gazillion dollars and they keep stealing from them. The game's still not done. It's been supposedly in production and being worked on for the last 13 years. And the game's still not done, which is bullshit. That's just highway robbery. Or maybe something like Warcraft, RuneScape. You know what I'm saying? For Christ's sakes, most people, until just recently when Counter-Strike 2 came out, were still playing Counter-Strike, which was a 100,000-year-old game. So what is the reason of having a PC that's so powerful that you can change the tiles and fix what you want for every aspect? What is the real reason for that? If they're still playing old games that are not even demanding, they're just fun. Because at the end of the day, like I told you, gamers that are real, like me and OG, and I mean, even like yourself, like you may not play as many games, but you like gaming. You can tell that you love gaming, right? You and I do not play games for visual quality or for high fidelity technology. You like the PC because it gives you the freedom to do stuff whenever you want, and that's fine. Like you said, it's all preference. That's not the argument. My point is that a console like the Series X is the only console that gives you all that freedom, all that technology, all those perks, all that positive things. Like right now, you see in the background, I'm running Predator, the arcade game. That's through the emulator on the Series X. I can do emulation. I can get almost every single emulation that's on PC right now on the Series X. Okay, if I'm missing 2, so what? Eventually they'll come 2. It's all a waiting game. The same way you guys claim that y'all just wait before you play your game, that you won't pay a full price if you feel that it's not worth it. It's the same. It's the same logic with us as Xbox gamers. For example, you used the trade-up value, and I'm going back to it, saying that I can go on eBay and sell my card, and since it's a popular card, I sold it right away. Okay, fantastic. But I could do the same thing. I have a Elite controller, right? An Elite controller. Give me 1 second. So like I was trying to tell you, look, I got the Elite Gears of War controller, right? This is something that is very sought after, right? Here you go, as you can see. Very sought after, right? And I have here's all the things for it right there, right? And it's very expensive because it was limitedly made. It's a limited thing. So I can go right now and sell this, let's say for $250, even though it goes for like $600. And I guarantee you I can sell it within maybe 2 days, a day, an hour, whatever. Because people want this. And then I can use that $250 and put it towards a new console. But that's not the same thing as trading. If the Microsoft brings out the new console tomorrow, I can go to GameStop, like I said, or even Best Buy's, take the console that I have, not have to worry about losing anything because everything goes with me because it's all cloud saving and it's all free on Xbox Series X, right? Bring the console, they might give me $250, maybe $300, and I pay the difference. Even with the price hike now, if someone didn't buy a console like an Xbox, and they go trade in their Xbox One X, they still can get $300. That's what they give you at GameStop right now, for example, or Best Buy's, and they only pay the difference of $300. So they still don't have to worry about paying $600 because you did that video where a console's value is no longer there because it's like a PC in cost, when that's not true either. Because even at $600 is offering you way more inside that box and that shell than a PC would, unless you do it with the cost that comes with it. Because a PC, again, let's not get it twisted. If you want variable refresh rates, DirectX 12 Ultimate, Dolby Vision HDR, Dolby Atmos Surround, DLSS, right? All that beautiful stuff that comes for the best quality and even a great display, like a great OLED monitor instead of a TV. The price, and like I showed you guys earlier, versus, the price versus what you pay for a PC separately, just for that 4K player by itself. And I'm going to pause here and take a quick stop like I just did the quick stop right there to show you guys what I was saying about the dedicated servers that I forgot to do earlier, even though I mentioned it. I forgot to show you that on the Division, you had no dedicated servers and that it wasn't free. But on Xbox, all the games are allowed to have free dedicated servers, which cost money because Microsoft has to pay for those servers. AMD, for example, or NVIDIA, don't pay for that. They only pay for the video cards that you buy. Okay? And even the low-end cards that are like the 5-something that came out, 540, that was just announced now, it can't do all those things for a cheap price. Because even those cards, I think, is like 300 maybe, the cheapest one, or 400, something like that. That's still over the price mark of the Series X, like I said. And that's only for the video card. So how can you sit there and argue or make a counter argument with me, because you must think that because I play on consoles that all I'm doing is talking without knowing or knowledge. But I have knowledge on both space. Like I said, I'm a computer tech by trade. Okay? I understand the PC lingo and I understand the console lingo. But I've always preferred the console because of price point and ease of access. I don't want to deal with the nuisance. Like I said, I don't want to deal with having to always make sure that if I have any issues like crashes or any updates that I need to find the right ones, or that I have to do changes to like boost up either to have better, heat sink, or to have better memory, or because I need more memory because now I require more memory for the new game that came out, or whatever the case may be. I don't want to have to deal with those nuisance. When a gamer wants to play, you just want to sit down, put the game, and you play. It loads up, and you play. That's it. That's why I said real gamers play games. They don't play specs, and they don't care about technology or hardware. As long as the game plays good, it doesn't matter. You mentioned you played, I was able to play Batman at 60 frames. Yeah, fantastic. That's great. But Batman on consoles was not a bad experience just because it was 30. And for the price point that you have to pay to play it on 60, it's much higher. Even if it was $100 more, even if it was $200 more, I still have to pay the $100 or $150 or $200 more just to get a better card to play it on my PC. When on my Xbox, I could just play it even in 4K native, because that's what the collection was when they re-released it, at 30 frames with HDR and all the wonderful bells and whistles. So again, on a $300 console, I can do emulation. I have forward compatibility with controllers. Yes, it's the controllers of Xbox, but there's many other controllers out there that they've made from third party for Xbox consoles that you could also use forward compatible with the Xbox Series X, because Microsoft made sure that they implemented that and that they gave us that for free. Just like Quick Resume. Just like DLI technology in the controller. The DLI technology on the controllers for the Xbox, which I don't even know where my controller is. Let me see where it is. Like on this, is for direct latency input on these consoles. And I could just connect an old controller from the Xbox One, and if firmware updates it and allows the old controllers to have it as well. But with this, it's native with the Xbox, console or controllers themselves. It's a native actual technology that you could only get on Xbox because the PlayStation is all firmware based. You can't use your Switch controllers on your new Switch unless it's to play the other old games, or if you have it docked on one of those pieces. You can't do it on the actual unit. With Xbox, you don't have to worry about that. And we have now the ability to have third-party memory cards as well, with the Velocity architecture included in it. It's still pricey, but it's pricey everywhere. Because the ones that are not pricey that you buy from third-party, most of the time are cheap. And they don't last you long. Because that's another misconception. You can get cheap ones. They don't last you long. They get burnt out because they don't have either the same speed on it, or, they're made with cheap parts and they don't work after a while. That same thing happens to hard drives. You know how many hard drives I bought from Toshiba, from Panasonic, from all types of different companies. From what's the other one? Westinghouse, the one from the PC, Westfield, I forget. All those, Seagate, all of them, and they don't last. They get messed up. None of my memory cards from the Xbox got messed up to this day. None of them. I have like 3 in the house. None of them. But those, they get messed up. So again, like I said, there's no real argument here. The point of the matter is that, and I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, I never said that PC could not do everything that a console does and more. Absolutely, you can. You're right. And none of the things I said is trying to say that you're wrong when it comes to the PC points of views and perspectives and what you show clearly every time with actual data and proof, because you do. And that's why I have a lot of respect for what you do. That's not what I'm saying. My whole argument has been, and I hope I've shown you this as I've been speaking to you and showing you examples, that a console at a $300 price point, like I said again, like the Xbox Series X, gives you more value and high quality gaming for a fraction of the cost of a PC. This can't be argued. You can say 1,000 times that it can, it can't. Especially when you take into consideration all the things that I said, like dedicated servers, peripherals going for you, quick resume, free backwards compatibility with 4 generations, right? Emulation, the ability to trade in your console hardware to put towards the new one without having to worry about going to eBay and waiting until somebody finally buys it to get more money and then buy the new stuff. Your games library comes with you. Second step authentication. I didn't even mention 2 other big pivotal things. Like number 1, I think I did, but one of them I didn't, which is customer service. If anything goes wrong with that console, you just send it to them and they take care of it. You don't have customer service for stuff like that on a PC. If you go to Micro Center and you want any type of security, you have to pay for it. They give you a 4-year window. If something happens or you want to upgrade, you take it back, you get the new one, but then you got to pay again another $180 for another 4 years. A console, you don't have to do that. You just take it in, you get the trade-up value for what they're offering you. You don't pay a dime. You get the new one. If you want to take that new one and put it towards something else, you don't pay a dime. You get the trade-in value and you get something else. It's always there for you. It's a viable option you cannot do on PC with PC parts. That cannot be argued. Selling on eBay is not the same thing. Sorry to tell you, my friend, with all the respects I have for you, that is not the same thing. It is not. It is not. In some cases, some people can look at that as you moving the goalposts. That is not the same thing. It isn't. It is not. Right? The same way that, like I said, that you get customer service, right? And one thing that you probably don't even know, which it was around since the Xbox Series X and S launched this generation. Microsoft offered everyone the ability to have Xbox All Access. Xbox All Access was like a layaway. But the difference is you got Game Pass, online, and the console itself for 2 years at $37 a month or $24 a month for the S at no extra cost with no interest. And you took the console with you that same day. If you did that with a PC and bought it, you would have to pay full interest, because they're not going to give you, credit card companies are not just going to give you a pass. They're like, oh no, you probably get maybe 3 months, maybe 2 months, maybe 4, maybe 6 if you're lucky. After that, you're done. But they're not going to give you and include your Steam account subscription. They're not going to include your PC, Xbox, PC Game Pass included. They're not including that stuff at all. Or the security that you get for paying for online as well. They're not including that. And you still have to pay interest. You see? With Xbox, you didn't have to do that. I bought 2 consoles that I bought after that previously, after the 4 that I got for all my boys that we got together that they paid separately, obviously. And that's the way I did it. And I helped out many of my friends to get their Xbox that by selling them mine, helping them out, or selling them the ones I found, and then re-getting one for myself through this program. I did 2 of them. Xbox All Access was never offered on PC or a program like it, or for PlayStation or Nintendo. So when you say the console value proposition is nowhere near the value of a PC, when it comes to PlayStation and Nintendo, you're 100% correct. But when it comes to Xbox, and don't get me wrong, because right now I feel that Xbox is even though it may be a smart move financially, right, which makes sense, because at the end of the day it's all about business. What they're doing by allowing their flagship titles to be on other consoles looks like a weak move, like if they gave up, even though they obviously haven't given up because they're making money. But the principle of it is that a company like Sony or Nintendo that started all the anti-consumer practices, right? The real anti-consumer practices, right? Not so-called anti-consumer practices like people like to point to Xbox when it's nothing like that. I'm talking about the real anti-consumer practices of what they've done. Holding down developers, paying for things exclusively for the whole generation, not allowing it to go somewhere else, keeping people's IPs, and all that type of stuff, right? Microsoft had to do that with the 360 era because they had no developers that were first party, with the exception of 5 companies. But in order for them to maintain and grow Game Pass, obviously they had to buy more so they can have more first party studios, and then they can do different decisions and better decisions, which is why they did that. They had to do it to feed Game Pass. It wasn't because they were trying to be a monopoly like a lot of people accuse them of, right? They had to do it. So anyway, to get to the point, they didn't start the anti-consumer practices. Microsoft never did that. So when Microsoft gives you Game Pass, free games day and date that they paid, in some cases, millions of dollars to make, and they pay developers upfront to put those games on Game Pass, billions of dollars a year. You've done videos yourself, and your arguments are really well thought out and really well done and presented when you argue with the ponies and stuff like that. And then they give you all the free stuff like backwards compatibility, free enhancements, free dedicated servers, free peripherals, all the things that I've mentioned thus far. If I forgot anything, forgive me. Xbox All Access, all that freedom that you get for a $300 Series X. Those are not semantics. That's not me speaking semantics. Those are facts. 100% facts. There's no questioning. 100% facts. Because this whole thing came from you originally touting Dark when the dude's a fraud. It's fake. All he was doing was touting Xbox because he didn't have to pay for games and touting that he didn't buy games. When that doesn't support the industry either. Because when developers are making games that cost that much, they need to be supported the right way. And how do you support them? By buying the games. Not buying them when they're on sale, not playing them through Game Pass, not buying them only, rather, on Game Pass, not buying them when they cost $2 in a bin, in a bargain bin. That's not supporting. That's pretty much diminished returns for anybody, for any company, any developer, any publisher. That is not supporting. Okay? And that's what he was doing until he was getting made fun of because of the fact that Hellblade 2 was, I guess, 30 frames, right? On 4K 30, even though, that was the cinematic choice that, Ninja Theory wanted to make it look like a movie instead of a video game. And in PC, since you're able to change that and lower the resolutions or lower some foliage or ultra settings or whatever the case may be, and you're able to run it on 60, he started that, I'm going to PC route. Yeah, he was playing on PC for his $800 Walmart PC, but he wasn't playing at ultra high settings. He wasn't playing it with global illumination. He wasn't playing with accelerated ray tracing. He wasn't playing it at the highest resolution natively. He wasn't playing it at 60 with all those bells and whistles. With HDR, Dolby Vision, with Dolby Atmos Surround, which also bring part, and it's a big part of the experience. And if you haven't played it and used it, you're not going to realize and know that is a big part of the experience. It makes it even better. There's no questioning. So if you try to sit there and say no, that it doesn't add nothing, that even tells me even further. Anyone who argues that, you have no idea because you never played it, you never tried it. Trust me, it's a game changer in every way, every aspect you can possibly think of. Now, I had to use these glasses because, as you see, I have these high volume lights that have good lighting so that you can see my face as I spoke. The best, better than normal, because it's kind of dim here in my apartment at the moment. And that's why I have these glasses, so forgive me for using them. If it was kind of weird, I wasn't trying to see. I just didn't want them to hurt my eyes, especially because of my diabetes. It'll mess up my eyes for a while. So, VG, I hope that you heard me out, or you hear me out. I'm going to try to send this video to you. I'm not expecting you to respond, because that's not what I'm trying to do this for. I'm just trying to show you and present to you my case of what I said in your comment section, because you did kind of went through a bunch of stuff and misunderstood some stuff. Like you thought that I was trying to say that PC can't do all the things that console do plus more, which that wasn't the case at all. I said, well, what you get with the console at that set price, you can't get all those high-tech quality stuff, features, and freedom for that price on any PC, even if you build it from scratch. It's not going to happen. Because as you guys saw when I presented to you earlier, just with the disk drive, you being able to play 4K movie medium right on the console, that alone is a $70 charge separately that is included already on the Series X. See? I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I hope you take it for what it is. Don't think that I'm trying to attack you, because I'm not. I'm just trying to tell you my point of view. I don't want you to think that I'm some type of console extremist and don't know what I'm talking about, or I'm just trying to be a fanboy, even though I am a fanboy of Microsoft as a console and a company. But that's not how I talk and bring things and present them. I try to bring them and present them with facts and showing why they are not or why they are, in versus this or versus that. In this case, versus PC and the proposition of the cost, the nuisance that come with it, and obviously with the value of what you're getting for just $300, right? Because clearly selling on eBay is not the same thing, and I don't mean to laugh, but the same thing as trading it in the store day and date when the console come out and get that money and just pay a difference for your new hardware. See what I'm saying? We don't have to play the waiting game. It's all there. Just like we could keep our games when they're on the disc. Unless it's not on the disc and it requires online, that's the only time it's not really yours. But even then, you still have the codecs, and you can do 1,000 profiles and still access it with the disc codecs and be able to play that game. You just need an internet connection, obviously. But, like I said, I hope you guys like the video. Share with someone you think might like it. Thumbs up, thumbs down if you like it or if you did it. Thank you for your time. Sorry that it was long-winded. I was just trying to be as concise and precise as I could possibly be and explaining everything. And that it didn't come off as just me talking about things and gibberish and being blah, 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 and not being actually coherent and making sense. All right, guys. Love you. Thank you for your continued support. Anyone new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it, because without you guys, my channel would not be sustained. It would be nothing. And if you decide to support me going forward, you like what I do, I appreciate it, because it means the world to me. I know you don't have to. But if you did, remember, I consider you part of my family. So, guys, Xbox for life, like a sickness that can't be cured. That's my saying. That's my slogan. Don't get triggered, people. It's all in gaming. It's all in good fun. Peace. BG Fightschool. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. You do good work, man. And I really respect you. But I hope you understand where I came from. I'll see you then. Peace.